Namaste. This is the second part in the series that I'm making on understanding the Kundalini awakening process as a whole. In today's part, I'll talk about the meaning of the 3.5 coiled Kundalini snake. In my earlier videos, I spoke about Kundalini Prana and Kundalini Shakti, but I never spoke about the 3.5 coiled snake. So in today's video, I will explore that topic. There are three terms I'd like to explain here: Kundalini Prana, Kundalini Shakti, and then Kundalini. What is the meaning of Kundalini in general? Kundalini means the coiled one. So, what is coiled? It is your inner spiritual energy that is coiled. And this energy is sleeping. When I say sleeping, it simply means that this energy is in a static form in your base chakra or the Muladhara chakra as given in the third picture here. You are only using about 2 to 3% of your potential. The remaining 97% of your potential is coiled. It's coiled 3.5 times like a snake, and it is there for you to arouse this energy so that this energy which is static becomes kinetic or an active energy, and you will be able to access this energy. When I say Kundalini Prana simply means the lighter aspect of the Kundalini energy. For example, if you are boiling water, the water evaporates, that steam. Steam is not any different from the water, it is just a lighter version of the water. So, this vapor or steam, being the lighter version of the water, is first emanating from the water. In the same way, Kundalini Prana is that vapor or that steam that is emanating from the 3.5 coiled Kundalini snake. Initially, when the Kundalini awakens, the person will first experience the Kundalini Prana rising up the central spine. This feels like something is pushing through your spine and trying to make way. So, the Kundalini Prana is the first thing to rise up the spine, and it clears the pathway. From whatever pathway the prana goes up, the same pathway Kundalini Shakti rises up. There are many pathways for the prana to move into the head. It can choose any one of those pathways. The same pathway is chosen by Kundalini Shakti. I'll talk about these pathways a little later. So, what is Kundalini Shakti? Shakti means energy. So, as the name depicts, Kundalini Shakti simply means the electrical energy of the 3.5 coiled snake. This is experienced as electrical signals running through the spinal area when it wakes up. So, firstly, the Kundalini Prana moves up the spine, followed by Kundalini Shakti. Kundalini Shakti is the electrical energy of the snake. This energy moves up the spine from chakra to chakra. It opens up the chakras. It fills electrical energy in the chakras. It activates the chakras. When this happens, people can see colors which are corresponding to that particular chakra. Some listen to mantras which are part of the chakra, and some see the deities that are part of the chakra. Now, what you see depends on how your awakening is happening. Not everybody has the same experience. In my case, I saw all colors. I could not listen to any chakra related mantras. But yes, I saw few deities that were associated with the chakras. But at this point also, the 3.5 coiled snake is still in the Muladhara. It has not moved from its position. Next comes the Kundalini snake. The Kundalini snake is the subtle body of the snake. The static energy which I was talking about is this Kundalini energy. This is your energy. When this energy moves up the spine, this happens in your subtle body. We have sheaths in our body. The outer sheath, the Annamaya Kosha, is the physical body. The Pranamaya Kosha is the pranic sheath. This is where you have the chakras, the Nadi system. This is where your Kundalini also resides. Then comes Manomaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha, which are your mental and intellectual sheaths, which are part of your astral body. And then comes the Anandamaya Kosha, which is your causal body. And that is where the Atman or your Jivatma resides. First, Kundalini Prana moves up the central spine, followed by Kundalini Shakti, and then at last, the Kundalini snake moves out of the base chakra and moves up the spine. In this slide here, I'd like to explain the structure of your spine, that is at the subtle level. Your central spinal column, corresponding to that in your subtle body, you have certain nadis running right from the base of your spine up into your head. In the second picture, you can see how these nadis are arranged. The Sushumna nadi, which is black here in the second image, it starts at the base of the spine and it runs up the entire central column and it ends in this area. Next comes Vajranadi. Vajranadi also starts at the base of the spine and it runs within the Sushumna Nadi. The Vajranadi, it extends a bit extra. It ends in this region. Then Chitrini Nadi. Chitrini Nadi is running within the Vajranadi and it ends up a little higher here. Then comes Brahmanadi. Brahmanadi, this is the only nadi which runs the entire spine. It starts a little lower and it moves up the entire spinal column from the base to the head region here. So it ends at the top point, which is the fontanel region. And this region is called the Brahma Randra. We constantly talk about karma, that is, many lifetimes of the good or bad that we do. It exists in the form of an impurity within us, which is called the karma mala. Mala means impurity. So this karma impurity, as long as this is intact within us, we are caught up in the cycles of life and death. So where does this karmic baggage or the karma mala reside in our body? It resides within the Brahmanadi. Brahmanadi is part of your causal body. The cause for our life on earth, the source for it comes from the Brahmanadi. And the kind of life we experience on earth depends on the kinds of deeds we have done in our past lifetimes. The good deeds, the bad deeds, everything. We take a part of a good, a part of the bad that we have done, and we are born in the next lifetime on earth. Again, during our lifetime, we incur certain karma again. It can be good, it can be bad, and that again becomes a part of the residual karma which is there here in the Brahmanadi. This is called as Sanchita karma. Sanchita karma. Sanchita karma, that is the total karmic baggage which you are carrying from many lifetimes, is part of the Brahmanadi. Now I'll come to the topic as to how a Kundalini awakening happens and how it rises up your spine. In today's video, I'll talk about the upward flow of the Kundalini process. We all are aware of chakras. So when a person is about to have an awakening, the first thing they will notice is this pranic movements that are happening in the pranic sheath. They experience generally the opening of the third eye, vibration in this area. Thereafter, the other chakras start opening. The lower chakras are the most difficult to open, especially the Muladhara chakra or the root chakra. Once all the chakras are open, they start spinning. The next thing that happens is uh, energy starts flowing through the Pingala channel. Pingala is the channel that starts at the right side of the root chakra. It crisscrosses over the spine and then it ends on the right side of the Agya chakra here. Then the prana flows into the Ida channel. Ida channel is on the left side of the spine. This crisscrosses over the spine. It meets with Pingala at 6 points where the 6 chakras are formed. And at last it ends on the left side here. It meets with Pingala and it becomes the part of the Agya chakra system. After this event, what happens is the energy enters the central Sushumna channel. So for the Sushumna channel, the central channel to be activated, first energy has to flow. I mean, a good amount of energy has to flow through the Pingala and through the Ida channels. Once the Sushumna channel is about to get opened, first thing that rises up the Sushumna channel is the Kundalini prana. The Kundalini prana, it clears the pathway within the spine so that Kundalini Shakti or the electrical energy of the Kundalini snake can rise up the spine. But before Kundalini Shakti can rise up the spine, it does something. It takes a round around the spine. It goes up into the head. It pierces through the lower part of the Agya chakra. And then it descends down from around the spine. This entire event is happening around the spine. And the reason this happens is the Kundalini needs energy from the universe. It is fuel for the process. So when it moves up the Agya chakra, it pierces us in this area, lower part. It comes down. I spoke about the Agya chakra being something like a satellite dish that attracts the universal energy. So the universal energy which is descending into the body from the universe, it moves through this pathway down. It drips and it reaches this area. Using this pranic energy, Kundalini Shakti rises up into the central Sushumna channel. So this is the fuel for Kundalini. This entire activity of taking a trip around the spine will not take more than 2 to 3 seconds. This event precedes the rising of Kundalini Shakti. And when Kundalini Shakti is rising up the spine, you will feel it as electrical energy. There are many types of Kundalini risings. I spoke about these risings in one of my earlier videos. Please check in the playlist a video on types of Kundalini risings. So when Kundalini Shakti is rising up the spine, it has mainly 6 pathways to move up the spine. One is Lakshmi Nadi, one is the Vajra Nadi, one is Saraswati Nadi, Sushumna Nadi, you have the Chitrini Nadi and then Brahma Nadi. The Kundalini Shakti should not enter the Lakshmi Nadi. Even the Vajra Nadi and Saraswati Nadi are undesirable. If it enters any of these nadis, the person should take the help of their guru and divert the Kundalini Shakti into the central Sushumna channel. It is very important to have a guru if you're planning to undergo a Kundalini awakening process. If something goes wrong, the guru will correct it for you. Once Kundalini is in the central channel, then it moves up smoothly. So the three nadis which are there in the central channel through which the Kundalini can pass are the Sushumna Nadi, then comes the Chitrani Nadi, and then the Brahma Nadi. Brahma Nadi is a very rare event to unfold. Chitrani is also rare, but the most common passage is the Sushumna channel. So Kundalini Shakti generally rises up the Sushumna channel. Even at this point, the 3.5 coiled snake, Kundalini snake, is still intact at the base of the spine. It has not moved from its position. The 3.5 coiled Kundalini snake has to move up the spine, but it only moves through the Brahma Nadi, which is the innermost Nadi in the subtle spinal system. As I said earlier, our karmic package of many lifetimes is present in the Brahmanadi. Brahmanadi represents our causal body, the cause of all our lifetimes on earth. That cause is there in the Brahmanadi in the form of karmic baggage or karma mala. Now that has to get cleared before Kundalini can uncoil and move up the Brahmanadi. Before Kundalini snake can move up the Brahmanadi, the Kundalini Shakti which is working in the Sushumna channel, generally it is working outside the Brahmanadi. It is moving from chakra to chakra. It is cleaning the chakras, it is opening the petals, it is strengthening the petals of the chakras, it is filling it with electrical energy. So this Kundalini Shakti which is working outside of the Brahmanadi generally, in very rare cases it will enter the Brahmanadi, but generally it is working outside. It has no station in between Muladhara and Vishuddha Chakra. That is, if it is rising up through the Muladhara Chakra into the next chakra, it goes up, it starts cleaning all the chakras, but then it has to again return down to the base chakra. It has no station in this area to take rest. So it moves up and it again returns. So what happens here is when this energy or this Kundalini Shakti is moving up, it is working in the upper chakras, the person will feel, uh, high vibration. He'll feel that he's changed. There's a lot of knowledge running in his uh, intellectual sheath. His entire energy level or vibration level is a little high. But once Kundalini Shakti returns to the base, again he comes down to the basal emotions, or is again caught up in the lower three chakra emotions. That is why there's a lot of swinging in emotions or moods when this Kundalini Shakti is moving up and down in this region. It will move up and down in this region until it can shift its residence from this area to the Vishuddha chakra area. But for it to shift from the base chakra to the Vishuddha chakra area, an event has to unfold in the body. This event is the opening of the Brahmanadi. The Brahmanadi, where the karmic baggage of many lifetimes is there. A small blast happens at the base of the spine. Imagine that there's a very small, minute volcano or a small bomb at the base of the spine, and this volcano erupts. When this erupts, it sends a streak of heat and light through the spine, entire spine, right from the base to the head. This is the Brahmarandra region. And while this is moving through the spine, it burns up all that karmic baggage which is there within the Brahmanadi. After that, for few days, the person will experience this karmic baggage coming out as black tar-like material, which is coming out of the chakras and it is flowing out sideways here from all the chakra areas. It is coming out of the mouth, the eyes, nose, ears, head region, throat region. I saw this black nigrido flowing out of my body for 3 days. And when this event happened with me, my entire body shook because of the blast. My internal organs, they too were shaken. And after this event happened, it took me about a month to recover from this. The pain of that energy blasting through my spine, it kept me on bed for nearly a month. It sort of keeps you down temporarily. Somebody with a top-down awakening will not experience this cleaning away of the Brahmanadi in one instance. For them, they generally see or experience this karmic baggage going out of their body in the form of some dark matter when they are healing through many phases. So it happens over many phases, but it does not happen similar to how it happens in a down-up Kundalini awakening. In a down-up Kundalini awakening, the entire karmic baggage of many lifetimes is just burnt away in a split second. You have to deal with the after effects of the event, which might take few weeks for that person to recover. So by the time the person recovers, the entire Brahmanadi is cleaned out of all this residue. But before this event can happen, I saw the god Shiva in a meditative pose, and then I saw that his central spinal column looked like a light beam, something like in the picture. Few see light filled beams or light pillars in visions or in their third eyes before this event will happen in their body. At this level, all that karmic baggage which was there within us over many lifetimes has just got burnt. So the karma mala is gone. Now the Kundalini snake can enter your Brahmanadi. When the Kundalini snake, it starts uncoiling and moving up the spine. At the first coil, it moves through Muladhara to Swadhisthana. Second coil, it moves from Manipura to Anahata. Third coil, it moves from Vishuddhi to Agya. And the last half coil, it reaches Sahasrara. The Kundalini snake is experienced as flow of energy in your spine. Kundalini prana felt like something was poking through your spine. Kundalini Shakti feels like electrical energy inside your spine, but Kundalini feels more like a flow within your spine. So, first, a small flow opens up from the Mooladhara to the Swadhisthana, this area. When this flow is small, many may not notice. At least I did not notice. Later on, what happens is this energy moves up to nearly the Vishuddhi chakra. When this happens, the lower part, it becomes wider. The flow in this area becomes wider. At this point, I started noticing the flow within my body, and the upper area is a little thinner. Before Kundalini Shakti can change its residence from the Muladhara chakra to the Vishuddhi chakra, two more events have to happen. Until now, what has happened is that the Brahma Grandhi or the knot which is there at the base of the spine has got pierced. The Vishnu Grandhi which is there, another knot above the Manipura chakra or nearly between the Manipura and Anahata chakra, that also got pierced. Then you have the Rudra Grandhi, which is at the Agya Chakra region, that has to get pierced. And Brahmarandra, that is the upper part here, which you see, this has to get pierced, the fontanel region. Until these two events happen in the body, Kundalini will not change its residence from the Muladhara Chakra to the Vishuddhi Chakra. So Kundalini now, it pierces the Rudra Grandhi. Once the Rudra Grandhi gets pierced, the person now has the ability to go beyond the scope of the mind. Until now, he was trapped by his mind, but now he has got released from that trap. Then Kundalini moves upwards and it pierces through the Brahmarandra, this area. The way I experienced it was, I felt two rod-like structures which were like bent rod-like structures. It pierced through my head like that, and it went out of my head. This feels like a blast inside the head. It is painful. It is like a shock to the system, and I took many months to recover from this shock. It feels more like a very close encounter with death. So what happens at this stage is the energy which moved out of the Brahmarandra, it goes out, and then Kundalini at this point decides whether this person really qualifies for the progression of the Kundalini process. If Kundalini thinks that this person is still worldly focused and is not very keen on the spiritual path, or he does not deserve for some reason to have this awakening, or if his body is not ready for this type of awakening, what Kundalini does is it again re-enters the body, and then it comes down to one of the lower three chakras, and it exits the body from one of the lower three chakras, and the person dies. But in his next lifetime, this person will be born with that spiritual evolution which he has earned in this lifetime. That is that his Kundalini will be awakened in his next lifetime. The Grandhis which were pierced, that is the Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra Grandhi, they are pierced even in his next lifetime. That is, the entire channel is open. The Grandhis will not be there. Then the Brahmarandra is also open for this person. So the person does not have to go through all this in his next lifetime. And generally, when he is born in his next lifetime, when he does a little sadhana, or sometimes he is born with the Kundalini in his Vishuddhi Chakra, or if he does a little sadhana, the Kundalini will immediately come and sit in his Vishuddhi Chakra. But when a person qualifies for this awakening and Kundalini thinks that this person should have this awakening, when she pierces the Brahmarandha and goes out, she again enters the body. And after entering the body, what happens is the Kundalini Shakti, which was residing at the base of the spine, it shifts its residence to the Vishuddhi Chakra after the body has healed to some extent from the shock of the Brahmarandra piercing. At this stage, what happened was I was feeling lot of vayus moving upwards in my body, fiercely moving upwards, pushing up. At this point, I had experienced lot of kriyas, and then this area also, it became more wider, the energy flow. When this happened, Kundalini Shakti, which was at the Muladhara level, now this Kundalini Shakti changed its base from the Muladhara Chakra to the Vishuddhi Chakra. It came and it resided in this area. Now, where a person's Kundalini resides in the body, the person's behavior comes from that level of awareness. For example, if the Kundalini is in the Muladhara, the person at a conscious or unconscious level, he is ruled by his inner instincts, animal instincts. He is controlled by his subconscious mind. His fight and flight mechanism is active. So he lives his life from the lower egoic structures or from the lower egoic chakras. But once Kundalini shifts its base from the Mooladhara to the Vishuddhi chakra, the person's level of awareness, the person's personal healing, his level of consciousness is now working at a higher level. At this level, this person does not or cannot hate another person. So he has to some extent overcome most of the fight and flight mechanism uh, that is running within his body, or he's overcome most of the very lower dense emotions within him. He has overcome all those things. Now he is more able to control his reactions, and for him to hate another person is it is beyond his capacity. He is not capable of doing it anymore. So he overcomes hate at this level. Kundalini Shakti now is residing at the Vishuddhi Chakra, and the 3.5 coiled snake, which is passing through the Brahmanadi like an internal flow, that is moving very strongly from the base chakra, that is the Mooladhara chakra, through the to the throat chakra. Now, from here, the energy flow starts, that is the Kundalini flow starts moving up into the Agya chakra, Vishuddhi and Agya chakra. In the same way, after clearing up this area, it will move further into the crown chakra. So, by the end, what happens is a permanent flow is established from the Muladhara chakra to the crown Sahasrara chakra. Permanent flow of energy. This is the unfolding of the 3.5 coiled snake. When all the coils unfold, all that static energy which was there at the base of the spine is now converted into kinetic energy as a flow which connects your base of your spine to the crown of your spine. As the energy is moving upwards, the next station for the Kundalini Shakti to reside is Agya Chakra. So once it opens the chakras, Vishuddhi and Agya Chakra, and in between you have many chakras. You have chakras in your cheeks, eyes, ears. So many minor chakras are there in the path. All those chakras are opened up, and then when the flow to the Agya chakra level is established by the Kundalini snake, Kundalini Shakti, it shifts its residence from the Vishuddhi chakra to the Agya chakra. When Kundalini Shakti is in the Vishuddhi chakra, it is still called partial awakening because at this point, if the person does something wrong, it can again go down. But once it comes to Agya chakra, you can call this as a full rising. From this point onwards, the upward area of the Agya chakra, the upper part of the Agya chakra, from this point onwards, Kundalini Shakti will not descend. So the awakening process within this person's body has got established to that level that now from this point onwards, it will reach its culmination. Until here, there was a chance that the energy could go back. But at this point, the energy only moves forward in the evolutionary process. When the Kundalini snake uncoiled in my body, the second picture, this was the vision I saw in my third eye. I saw a snake uncoiling inside of me. But this was not accompanied with any physical sensations because Kundalini is very subtle. But yes, after a long gap, I could feel uh, energy flowing through my spine from the Muladhara up to the Vishuddhi level. I could actually feel the energy moving up my spine, uncoiling as a flow and moving up my spine when it was very wide. Until then, it did not come to my notice. When the Kundalini snake is moving up the spine, the chakras, we have chakras along the spine, and then you have the Sahasrara chakra at the top of the spine. So the lowest of all chakras, the Muladhara chakra, is upturned like this, and the Sahasrara chakra is downturned like this. But in between the other chakras, when they are inactive, they are in their normal position. But when Kundalini snake is moving through them, the chakras, right from the Swadhisthana chakra to the Agya chakra, they all turn upwards. If you take a thread and you thread flowers through it and leave a little gap between each flower, it'll look like how it is in the picture here. So all the chakras which are beneath the Sahasrara chakra, they all become upward in direction when the energy is flowing upwards. Because the energy is flowing from down up, it is turning up the chakras. But the crown chakra remains inverted position, which is its natural position. So Kundalini Prana, it clears the pathway. Kundalini Shakti, it strengthens the chakras, it fills it with electrical energy. And Kundalini flow, which is the 3.5 coiled snake, that aligns the chakras and brings them onto one central pathway. Once the 3.5 coiled snake has totally uncoiled, it will look like the second picture in your visions. The tail is at the base of the spine and the head is at the crown chakra level. When this is seen in your third eye, it simply means that the entire static energy which was there at the base of your spine, it has got converted to kinetic energy within your subtle body. This is the upward movement of the Kundalini serpent. In the earlier picture, you saw that the Kundalini Shakti was at the Agya chakra. Now, from here on, Kundalini Shakti will move up into the crown chakra. Now, because there's an energy flowing from the base to the Sahasrara chakra, Kundalini Shakti, which is residing here in the upper part of the Agya chakra, moves up into the upper chakras. Now, this person will start experiencing many states of bliss and of samadhi. Here, the person is entire static energy at the base of the spine has got released. He has established a permanent state of flow from the Muladhara chakra to the Sahasrara chakra, this area. Now I'll explain the meaning of the 3.5 coiled snake. The lower part of the snake is where a conscious mind is. People generally who are worldly or who are unawakened, they use their conscious mind. They cannot access the subconscious mind. It can only be accessed by them in the state of a dream. Otherwise, they cannot open the subconscious mind. They live from this area alone, and generally they are under the control of the lower three chakras mostly. That is why they're caught up in Maya. They cannot even see how their behavioral loops are keeping them caught up in cycles of life and death. They do not learn lessons from life fast, and hence they keep on uh, acquiring karmic baggage, whether it is good or bad. And that again becomes part of the karmic baggage which is there in the Brahmanadi or the causal body. The middle part of the snake, it represents your subconscious mind. That is why when the snake is unfolding, uh, by the time it reaches this area, you would have cleared out most of the material that is there in subconscious mind. You have come out of many of your old behaviors, all that is, you can see how you were caught in your karmic loops. You can see that because at this, when this flow gets established to this level, you're already out of it. Next comes the unconscious level. That is at this level. So the unconscious level, it represents your deep sleep state. And when the flow of the energy or the Kundalini uh, gets established from Muladhara to this unconscious mind level, the person has healed from all this lifetime and past lifetime trauma. He's learned his life lessons. He's wiser. He is sort of mastered the emotional body and the thought body also. By the time the energy reaches this area, he is even tapping into the greater wisdom that the universe can offer. Then the last half coil is from this level to this level. That is the Turiya or the superconscious state, where now this person is able to live from a permanent witness state. At this level, there's a lot of silence in the head. All these levels, that is the conscious, subconscious, unconscious, and the superconscious state, are part of this flow. And as this flow, it opens up in our body, it starts getting established and flowing upwards. You have come out of your lower ego, you have cleared away the matter in your subconscious mind, you are now more connected to the universal energy, and a kind of a natural witness, a natural silent state, it descends upon the person. On the left side, you can see some pictures that are posted. The lower part, you can see the image of a fire. That is when Kundalini flow has not crossed beyond this level. That is the level of the stomach chakra, a little above it, until it has not moved beyond that area. The person will experience lot of heat or fire in the body. Their body temperature will be very high, and in the thermometer you may not see that temperature. It will not reflect your body temperature. You will see normal temperature reading on thermometer, but internally your body is burning a lot. But once Kundalini flow crosses this region, it moves up, it moves into the area of the sun. The way I experienced this area, that is, once the Kundalini flow moved from above the Manipura into Anahata and little above, my the heat in my body subsided, and then I was seeing in certain states bright sunlight inside my head. Or when I would wake up from the sleep, so where I'm in that state where I'm neither fully awake nor sleeping, in that state I would see lot of sunlight or bright yellow light all over my body, and my body shining in that light. These were the visions or glimpses I had when the Kundalini flow was moving through this region, because this is the area or the zone of the sun. Once Kundalini moves beyond the Agya Chakra, then you will see the beautiful diffuse light of the moon inside your head. It's all white, bright light. So that is the area of the moon. So all these three things will be experienced by the person when the flow is going up the spine. Now we all are aware that we have the Om in the Agya Chakra. The same Om is represented in the Kundalini snake. The lower part of the Kundalini snake is A, the middle part is U, and the part where the unconscious mind is present till here, till where the Sushumna Nadi ends in this region, that is Ma. So the Om is present as part of your Sushumna channel, right from the base to the Agya Chakra, little above the Agya Chakra level. When the snake is coiled or when the person is unawakened, the person, he is receiving signals from the lower chakras. He's caught up in flight and fight mechanism. And here the person is not able to use his buddhi or his intellect, which is part of the upper area. But once Kundalini uncoils, it moves through all the chakras. The chakras are all turned upwards. Once they are turned upwards, they are receiving signals from the buddhi or the intellect, which is here at this region. So hereafter, the chakras will reflect the wisdom of the intellect, which is there in a person. Now, this person will not choose uh, ideas that come from their fight and flight mechanism. He stops reacting to life, rather, he starts responding to it from a state of higher wisdom, because this flow is moving upwards in his body. This is my take on Om. The first picture you see is the picture of the Agya Chakra, where you see the Om in it. Imagine if the head of the Om had a snake head and the other end was like a tail of a snake. So typically this is Om, which looks like a snake. Now if you take that and if you pull it upwards and downwards, then you'll get the third picture, a snake standing on its own tail. You saw this in the Brahmanadi. That is, the snake was standing on its own tail, like in the first picture. But here, the Om is present in this area. So, the snake, which I have drawn standing on its tail, it represents the Sushumna Nadi, not the Brahmanadi. Because Om starts here and Sushumna Nadi ends here. So this Om, it represents your Sushumna Nadi. That is why when we do any type of mantra chanting, or when we are just plainly chanting Om, the effect of that Om mantra, it reverberates through your entire Sushumna channel. Sushumna channel starts at the base of your spine, ends here in this region. So right from that area to this area, the effect of the mantra Om is very strong. This is what I felt. And that is why we are always advised to chant Om as part of our daily prayers. The Sushumna Nadi has to get activated for the process to unfold in your body. So when somebody is having an awakening or about to have an awakening, the chanting of Om can help them a lot uh, in activating the Sushumna Nadi along with alternate nostril breathing. In today's video, I spoke about the uncoiling of the Kundalini snake, which is there at the base of the spine, what it means when it uncoils. And I spoke about the upward flow of this Kundalini energy through various pathways in the form of Kundalini Prana, Kundalini Shakti, and Kundalini snake moving up the body. Now, what is the time duration for this to happen? There is no specific time duration. Many can experience part of the process, then the Kundalini can go to sleep again. For example, the Kundalini which is there at the Muladhara, it might wake up and it might go back to sleep. Maybe it opens up some channels in the body, it can again fall back to sleep. So here the person's individual sadhana is very important, and how they are spending their time. Are they learning life lessons? Are they processing their inner trauma, pain? All these things matter. And on this path, that person will have to face many types of very difficult tests. The Kundalini will test a person at every moment. It's like the entire life you are giving series of tests. And when you do not qualify for the next level, the process will wait there till you qualify for it. Then alone the process will move to the next level. So this process, until it reaches this Agya Chakra level, it can stop at any point. Kundalini might again go back to sleep. The individual effort of the person and how fast he is learning and growing, that has a big impact on the process. And Kundalini will never give you more than what you can handle. Most importantly, there is a need to have a guru, a physical guru in your life when you're undergoing this process. Thank you.